What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. I've been thinking about a list that I've been wanting to talk about for a while, and it's something I want to say it's my pros and cons of this car, but it has nothing to do with like performance, the lack of power, or like tuning wise or suspension. Like it's more of something that Honda could have done a little bit better from factory, or something that they did well that I didn't notice that I needed or that I liked, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna be calling this my pros and cons, my ideas, my opinions of things that I like, things that I hate. Instead of doing your typical 5 things I love about my car, 5 things I hate about my car, I'm gonna be doing this little pros and cons from my opinion, from my perspective. If I do miss anything, or if you think that there's something that you know about your car that would stand out, put it in the comment section down below. That way we can discuss it, because there might be some things that you guys realize about this car, since I've only owned it for about 4 months now. So let's go ahead and get to it. Now, when I talk about like pros and cons, I really mean like actual like things I really like, things I don't like. And one of the biggest, I guess you can say, flaws or cons that I did not like about this car or this particular model is the door is pretty heavy. I probably over exaggerated right there, but look, really windy, so that's why I'm gonna be vlogging majority of it from my car. But the door for these coupes are extremely heavy. For some reason, Honda decided to put a lot more material in the door. When I talk about it being heavy, I actually mean it's pretty heavy. It swings very slowly. It's actually heavy. I know it's a coupe, so thus the door is going to be bigger, which means the door is going to be heavier because there is more material being used on it. I completely get that. But I've owned 2 other coupes in my life. I've been in other coupes in my life. And so far, this is probably and I guess you can say like economical. I haven't been in any high luxury ones, but even from a G37 coupe, Honda Civic, well, 2008 Honda Civic Si, 2012 Scion TC, 2014 Hyundai Genesis Coupe. There's a couple other coupes I've been in, a 350Z, a 370. Like this door is like the heaviest I've ever been in. And I mainly realized it when I got in my girl's TC, and as soon as I opened the door, I swung it open so hard. Luckily, there was no car like next to us, or else I would have straight up hit the car that was like probably like right there. Now, another thing that happened when I was in this car, so me and my girl decided to go get a Christmas tree, and we went Christmas tree shopping. We bought the box. We were like, dang, this is a really big box, because we got like a 7-foot tree or whatever. Going back to the car, and we both look at each other and realize we didn't bring her car, we brought mine. So we're looking at the coupe and we're like, how is it gonna fit in here? So luckily it fit, but let me show you. With this getting pushed down all the way. Now, the thing that sucked about it is this, it wasn't even this, it was this actual like this trunk frame, I guess you can call it. If the trunk frame was a little bit bigger, I want to say maybe ½ an inch, I would have been able to fit it in through here, through the back, and put it in through there. But because it was a really big box, luckily it was able to fit by moving this seat back and putting it in through here, through the front. Now, normally that wouldn't be a problem, but because I live in an apartment complex where cars like to park really close to you, it was pretty sketchy trying to get it out through here, trying to get a really big box, angling it out through here, when your door can only swing this much out. You know what I mean? And considering it's a really big door, like I mentioned before. So talking about the trunk, like, yes, I know it's a coupe. You don't get it because of cargo space. You get it because of the style, and you like the comfort and blah, blah, blah. And all, you don't get a coupe for room, basically, is what I'm saying. But surprisingly, it fits, but not the way you would think. If they just made the back trunk hole, whatever you want to call it, just ½ an inch bigger, it would have fit back there easily. You'd be able to fit a box in and out easily. Something else, and I don't know if it's happened to you guys, like, let's just pretend it's connected, it's not. There'll be plenty of times where Apple CarPlay I don't know if it's Apple CarPlay itself or if it's the stereo itself. You guys will probably know what I'm talking about if it's happened to you. It glitches out and it won't recognize your device, regardless if it's an iPhone or if it's an Android. Now, it would just simply do this. That's all it would do. When safe, please confirm that your smartphone is connected to a USB port which has a smartphone icon on the lid. So basically, it would tell you to connect your phone when it would already be connected. It's not connected right now, but there'd be times where my phone will be connected and it would still do that. It wouldn't sync anything. I would have to use something else other than Apple CarPlay, and when you get spoiled with something that you're used to and you can't use it anymore, it kind of ruins your mood. So what I ended up having to do was you have to completely erase your phone from the system completely and then resync everything to the phone so that the next time you connect it, it fits and it works. So I also tried swapping out the ports. I also tried swapping out to a different cable. I also tried swapping it to a different phone, and my lady's phone is already synced to here and it wasn't pairing with hers as well, which is very weird. You have to manually go into your settings. You would have to go into like your phone, and then you would have to like delete everything that's in here and then unpair it from your iPhone or Android Auto, whatever you have, which becomes very tedious because it took me maybe 30 minutes to figure it out, and I was stuck at work because I was being stubborn and I did not want to drive home without any music, and for some reason it wasn't syncing Bluetooth or whatever the hell it was. So I don't know if it was the Apple CarPlay itself or if it was my phone or if it was a stereo or whatever it was. If any of you guys had issues with that before, let me know. But yeah, that's something that I wish would not happen. Something that gets pretty annoying from time to time. What else? Another con that I've noticed as I'm driving, or something I don't like, is for some reason my foot would be on the brake, and the electrical brake, the e-brake, would not recognize that my foot is on the brake. So there'd be times where I'm just like pushing it down, pushing it up, pushing it down, and it's just not registering well. Now, it doesn't happen all the time. It just happens random. It's like a glitch. I don't know how else to explain it. Like, it would tell me, please put your foot on bling and blah, 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 and it just wouldn't let me go. So my car anchors down because I'm trying to go, realizing that I didn't take the e-brake off when I indeed pressed it down fully, put my foot on the brake fully, and it still didn't come out. So I don't know if that's happened to a couple of you guys, but that happens to me, I'm gonna say once a week, maybe a little bit more. So I don't know if I'm just doing it wrong or if I'm pressing it too quick, but I don't know. So that's right there. And then something that I personally think should have been a little bit better, like another con, is the rear speakers are trash. I am a huge music guy, but I do not want to spend money on a system in this car. Maybe not yet. So when I heard the sound system in this car, it was pretty good. I tweaked with the settings and blah, blah, blah. It's good enough to get you going. I personally like the Scion TC's Pioneer sound system, and from factory, stock for stock, a little bit better because it's a lot bassier per speaker. Right here are pretty much not that great. So they sound like they're already blown. So I don't know if it's because they're that small, or maybe it's because I have a higher quality standard when it comes to music and sound wise and whatnot. I don't know. So those are pretty much the only things I don't like, that I feel like Honda should have been like, put a little bit more effort into it. I know it might sound childish, but I feel like there might be more out there that you guys might agree, and you guys might be able to tell me through the comment section and whatnot. Enough about my cons list about this car. These are the small things that I actually do like about this car that made me go, oh, I'm kind of glad they added that. And the first thing, and this is going to sound really dumb, is they added a clip holder up here. I don't know, I want to say that's for like sunglasses, or that's for like a gate card or a gate or whatever you want to say, but it's also right here as well. So I don't really know the actual name for that. So I ended up usually having to put my gate card, putting it up there. It's really convenient for me to use it. People might use it to put their garage remote, their sunglasses. I really do like that Honda has this little feature, or this little, I guess you can say, accessible add-on to the car. What's funny is that I find is that it's on both sides, so I know it's probably not exactly for a garage holder. I don't know what this is really used for, but from the looks of it, it looks like you're supposed to put cards in here, and it works magnificent. It does not fall whatsoever. It stays in place, and I love it. I'm glad that I can just get my gate card at an easy access, scan, put it back. Again, it's really dumb, but that's something I really like about this car. Back to the storages. Guys, surprisingly for this coupe, there is enough storage in here. Like everywhere, you got a little side one right here. You got a little handle one right here. This is probably my favorite one that I never use. The center one is pretty big and pretty good, actually. There's another one right there. I don't even know what this is probably for. It's probably for like credit card holders or whatever you want to say. This one's pretty big as well. In the back, there's plenty of room. That's why I mentioned, like, storage wise, you don't get a coupe for room, you get a coupe for style. And nobody gets a coupe because they're like, oh, I want to make sure I can fit as many people here. Dude, surprisingly, I was able to fit my mom, my stepdad, and my brother all in this car, including me, because we went on a hike yesterday. My stepdad's a pretty big guy, and my mom, she's a little bit on the shorter side, but my brother is also a pretty big guy too for his age. So they were both in the back seat. My stepdad was right here in the front seat, and we drove like 30 minutes one way, 30 minutes back the other way, comfortably, no issues whatsoever. The ride quality was good. For a coupe, the comfort of the drive quality with a full car lowered with wheels, like, I was expecting to rub, to be honest. I did not rub whatsoever, not even once. So it was pretty surprising right there for me. Going back to the stereo, guys, the infotainment system itself, I personally think they stepped it up, because from the 2007 to 2018, maybe even 19, I think I was in Hector's car and I was looking at the center console and I'm just like, this looks so weird because I'm used to seeing mine. And it's just the fact that they added more buttons to the infotainment system just made it seem a lot easier access and just more pleasant to use, if that makes sense. So comparing it from the other models, I really think they did do a step up in the infotainment system, especially because they did add a knob, and that was one of the biggest issues that everybody was talking about from the previous cars, from the previous years. Now, another thing is, this car surprisingly is really easy to learn how to drive stick in. This particular car, not like this my car, but like this particular, like the 10th gens itself. So when I was teaching my sister how to drive this car, she's driven my car twice already. She loved it and she wants to do it again. I feel like she's getting slowly and getting a little bit better and better to start driving in actual like traffic. So we're probably going to be going in the back roads that where there's less traffic, where she can actually like drive the car more than like 20 miles an hour. I was also showing my friend Victor how to drive a stick shift in this car, and he also said it is a lot easier to drive than the previous years that I've had. The 2008 that I had. Somebody asking if it's a good beginner car. Yes, this is a great beginner car for somebody to learn how to drive stick, especially if you're like 18, 19. You're not going to get in trouble using this car. Like, you're not going to get this car for speed. You know, you're going to get it for comfort, the style, and just because you're a fan of Honda. You know what I mean? I'm talking about the SI models. If Type R is a different story. One of the biggest things that attracts me about this car is actually the looks itself. A lot of people hate how they modernize the car, or I guess they're saying it looks too retro, or I don't know, like saying that this car is just not a true SI. Look, I get it. It doesn't have VTEC. It has a 1.5 liter and blah blah blah. But I'm not talking about the performance. I'm talking about the looks in itself. The car looks amazing, guys. This car looks pretty good stock, you know. So far it's only lowered on springs and it has aftermarket wheels and it looks good. Like, you guys have seen the car progress, and here obviously you guys are seeing the car from the outside right now, but this car is an eye catcher. Whenever I see another nicely modded 10th gen, a simply clean 10th gen, it looks good no matter what color it is, no matter what wheels you have, no matter how, like it just looks really good. From the front, from the side, the rear, the only thing I did like about the rear is that when you get an aftermarket exhaust, it does change the rear completely. That way you don't have the HDMI port. But in general, the looks itself for this car look great if you're just trying to get something with style. Overall, like, the body lines of this car for a coupe, it looks good. Just a video talking about that perspective. Dude, you can hear how like windy it is. Look, the door's gonna close by. That's how windy it is. I was trying to look for a spot where the wall was on this side, that way, because the wind's blowing from there, but it's kind of hard to find that here in Oxnard. With Christmas just around the corner, I want to end the video with saying, guys, thank you for everything. This year has been, it's a really tough experience to go through. I hope everybody's doing okay. I hope everybody's fine. Hope you guys are having a great time with your family. Stay safe. You guys have a good Merry Christmas. And I hope to have another video out next week. That way we can talk about some other things. And I got some parts coming in. I ordered a couple more parts. Some simple ones. That way I can get the daily dose of the car coming. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for today's video. I hope this video was a little bit informative on my perspective and my opinions on this car. Some of them were silly, some of them were good, some of them were bad. But like I said, it was just a little small pros and cons list that I have feelings towards this car. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad car. I really am enjoying this car 110%. I cannot wait for what's more to come for this car. So we just gotta play the waiting game and see what's up. So you guys have a Merry Christmas, and I will see you guys next week for another video. You guys have a good day. Stay safe. Peace.